All right, friends, this is our Module 2, Lesson 18 math note video for today. Now, I do not have actual math notes for you. I have included in your packet this print-off sheet. It looks like this with a bunch of squares on one side of it. Excuse me, guys, another yawn. It has a bunch of squares on one side of it. And on the back side of it, it has a table, and it looks kind of like this. So these are our math notes and our exit ticket for today. I have not included additional notes for you because I feel like these problems are sufficient enough for our notes. So I'm going to go through and complete a few of these problems with you guys, since this is a concept that we were introduced to yesterday with Lesson 17 math notes. I'm going to go through, complete a few of these, and then I'm going to ask you guys to finish the rest of it. So while I'm working on this electronically and digitally, I would like you to write down the answers that I'm putting down on your sheet of paper that you have that I sent home with you with this. Okay? I'm sorry, I don't know where those yawns are coming from. Looks like I need to get more coffee. All right, so jumping right in here, it says that we need to estimate the quotients for the following problems. The first one's done for you. So yesterday we were using basic division facts on our multiplication chart that I gave you guys on your reference sheet. Basic division facts to estimate quotients. There's a couple of different ways you can solve some of these. If you solve it one way, a partner solves it another way. As long as I can see your train of thought and see where you are going with it, I'm going to mark it correct. So going ahead and getting started, one of the first tips I always have first is to look at the divisor. Okay, the divisor is the second number in our division problem. And my first tip is to always round that to the nearest group of 10. Now, when we are rounding that, it doesn't always have to be rounded to or following the rounding rules necessarily. When we're rounding to estimate quotients, we're not going to always follow the 5 or more, raise the score, 4 or less, let it rest. We're going to kind of break those rules a little bit and just round it to the nearest 10. So 41 rounded to the nearest 10 is going to be 40. And then now that I have my 40, I need to know what can I round my dividend to that's easily divided by 40. Not what do I round it to that it's closest to, what can I round it to get, Lord have mercy, to get something that's easily divisible by 40. Well, 8,328, I know that 4 can go into 800 or 8 or 8,000, so I'm going to round this just to 8,000. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross out the zeros that they share. 8 divided by 4 is going to get me 2. There are 2 zeros left in the question, so I'm going to have 2 zeros left in the problem, and my overall answer is going to be 200. Okay? Jumping over here to letter B, I have 2,109 divided by 23. Well, I'm going to round that 23 to 20. Okay, I'm going to round it to 20. I'm going to easily try to figure out what I can round 2,109 to that's easily divisible by 2. Okay, because I know I can end up crossing out that 0. So I'm just going to round it to 2,000. So I'm going to round that to 2,000. Okay, I'm going to get a different color here. We get green. Now I'm going to cross out the zeros that they share. They only share 1 0. 2 divided by 2 is just going to give me 1. I have 2 zeros left in my problem, so I'm going to have 2 zeros left in my answer. So my estimated quotient is going to be 100. Okay. Checking out letter C. Let's look at letter C here for a second. Let's go with blue. 38 rounded to a close 10. I'm just going to round that up to 40. Okay. I'm going to round that up to 40. Again, you guys are writing this down on your sheet that you have in front of you. 8,215. Well, I know 4 can go into 8, so I'm just going to round it to 8,000. So I'm going to round it to 8,000. Okay, now I'm going to cross out the zeros that they share, and this is really similar to this problem right over here. I'm going to cross out this 0 and then this 0. 4 can go into 8 2 times. There are 2 zeros left over, so I'm going to have 2 zeros in my answer. So my quotient is 200. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down to, let's see here. Let me see if I can, I'm trying to work on this still, this online whiteboard, and it's not the easiest. Let me say that. I'm trying to scroll. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Oops, but that kind of moved my work over there. Oh, my goodness. Technology, I'm telling you guys, it's something else. All right, let me scroll out a little bit. Okay, here we go. Now for letter D, I have 3,861 divided by 59. I'm going to take my 59 and I'm going to round that. Let's just round that to 60. Okay, let's make it pretty easy on ourselves and let's round it to 60. So I'm going to have, there we go, 59 is going to be 60. Now there's a couple of different ways that I can round my dividend to, 3,861. I can round it up or I can round it down. Again, this is where your personal preference is going to come into play. And as long as I can see your work, that's all I really care about. Or see how your brain was thinking, that's all I care about. So 59 divided, or 60, I'm sorry, can go into 3,600. It can also go into 4,200. So I count by 6. I have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. So I can make that into a 36 or I can make it into a 42. It doesn't really matter because it's really kind of right in the middle. I'm going to round it up to 42. That's just what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make this 3,861, 4,200. Okay. Now if you wanted to round it to 3,600, that's fine. It's all personal preference. Okay. Now I'm going to cross out the zeros they share. 42 divided by 6 is going to get me 7. There's 1 0 in the problem, so there's going to be 1 0 in the answer. So my overall answer is going to be 70. Now this is the last one I'm going to do with you guys, and I want you guys to work on the rest on your own. 66 rounded to the nearest 10. Well, I could round it to 70. So I'm going to pick a different color here. I'm going to round that to 70. And then 2,899, what can I round that to that 7 easily goes into? I know 7 can go into 28, so I'm just going to round that to 2,800. Okay. Now I'm going to change the color. I'm going to cross out the zeros that they share. 7 can go into 28 4 times. There's 1 0 in the answer. Or left in the problem, 1 0 in the answer. So my quotient is going to be 40. So I'm going to have you guys complete for me the rest of this worksheet. Oops. Oh my goodness, I keep clicking the wrong thing. I'm trying. All right, I want you guys to complete this for me. This back page here, 2 and 3, this is going to be extra credit if you guys wanted to complete it. So question 2, the back side of this sheet, says 91 boxes of apples had a total of 2,605 apples. Assuming each box had the same number of apples, estimate the amount of apples in each box. And then down here, a wild tiger can eat up to 55 pounds of meat in a day. They're just sneaking up on me again. About how many days would it take for a tiger to eat the following prey? So you're going to take each one of these and divide it by 55. In approximate, you're going to round as well. Up here, you're going to round as well and estimate. This side is extra credit, okay? This side right here, I would like you to complete the front side of it, bring it back to school with you next week when you come back, okay? And if you have any questions, I am here for you. Like I said, there's many different ways to go about working on these problems. So the way you might process it might be different than a friend. So feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions. All right, friends, take care.